guys, I'm Alicia, Camacho, and welcome to this week's episode. This week though, I want to talk to something that every girl experiences, and guys seem to be a little too clueless on the subject. And I feel like hopefully speaking about this a little bit more openly will destigmatize the idea of talking about periods, because periods are a completely natural thing. It happens to every woman, even though every woman experiences it differently. And I feel like it's nothing to be ashamed of, because it is something that we cannot control. We go through it, we deal with it, we are pros at it, and hopefully in this episode I get to help guys understand it just a little bit better, because I've been seeing some wild things online and I'm just like, who is teaching you guys these things? Clearly no one. So today we're talking about periods. Hopefully this doesn't make you feel uncomfortable in any way. I mean, if you have a mom or a sister or a daughter or a niece or whatever, you can be sure that they're going to experience this. And so if you know or have some sort of understanding of what they have to go through, maybe men will be a little bit more sympathetic towards us, to learn that women are actually really tough. We deserve to be understood. I'm not going to be graphic, guys. It's not a graphic novel. I'm not going to be explaining exactly in fine detail what we experience. Where do I begin? Because the period is not just a 1 week thing, the normal week. So the normal week is basically when nothing happens. Okay, this is the best week for women. This is where it is a free-for-all kind of thing. It's mostly a positive week. We're happy, we've got energy, we're doing things, we're saving the world, we're looking after children, we're building our careers, we're dealing with things like it's no big deal, and we're just living our lives, right? You don't actually really realize we go through this week, but we do, because it's so natural. It kind of just like it happens, and we kind of really don't put second thoughts into it. Most of us have been going through this every day for I'm 24 now, for the last 12 years, no, maybe more. And that's just a young person like me. Imagine slightly more older woman, okay, in her 30s or 35 or whatever. You get the picture, right? You get the point. All of this becomes second nature to us. Ovulation week. What is ovulation week? Because a lot of guys don't seem to know what ovulation is. I think the only people who know what ovulation is are the guys who are going through fertility treatment with their partners or their wives or spouses or whatever. Also heard in series where women are like, it is the optimal time for me to ovulate, so this is the time that we have to do this and blah blah blah. Ovulation is when our body's actually producing the eggs to be juicy, fruitile, little possible human babies. The best time to procreate, that's if there was a golden hour for making a baby, it would be during ovulation week. Simple. Sometimes within the ovulation period, there is good times and there's bad times and there's perfect times. So that's why you always gotta check when things are. This is also when girls are very in the mood. It's specifically heightened during that time, so you know. Okay, for future reference. Pre-week. What is pre-week? Oh my gosh, it sounds like pre-gaming. Well, think of it as our opening act, okay? Pre-week is our PMS week. You can't go through your period without going through pre-week. Two go hand in hand, cannot have one without the other. Pre-week is when literally our body starts changing and adjusting to the process of going through the next week, right? Now, pre-week, this is where our hormones are raging. We have emotions going through like a roller coaster ride. We are hungry all the time. We are starving. We are sleepy. We get insomnia. We get irritable. We don't want to be in our bodies. We feel like trash. Worse than trash. We feel like caca on the back of a shoe. It's not a great time for us, okay? We're going through the slump, right? We're going down. It's not looking pretty. Pre-week is, it's happening. And then finally, Red Week happens. Mother Nature knocks on our door and whoosh, we open up and then red. Sad. Sometimes we know exactly when it's coming, other times we don't. It's very unpredictable. Do not come after me and be like, oh, but don't you guys have like tracking apps and the pill, or don't you write it down? Refer back to my first comment. This becomes second nature to us. This is like, it kind of goes without saying, we are in auto mode whenever this happens. Like, we just follow the steps because we already know the steps. They are embedded in our brain. So when it happens, it's not like we're going to write it down and be like, some women do, okay? I'm very bad at that. I'm useless. Like, every time I go to my doctor and he's like, when was your last period? I'll be like, I don't know, like last month? That is as accurate as I'm going to get. Other women will note it down. They will write down the start and the finish, or, you know, you have an app. And in the app, you'll write down, today, this was this kind of flow, and yesterday was this kind of flow, and I felt hungry and sleepy. There are apps that allow you to like track your whole period thing. Generally speaking, we don't know the exact date of it happening. It just happens. Sometimes you don't even get any warnings. We think that we'd get like a cramp and it'd be like, oh, and then you'd be like, oh, okay, wait, it's coming. Let me go deal with it. No. Sometimes it just happens. And then it's like, whoop, there goes my nice pair of underwear because, well, murder. Very unpredictable. Sometimes it shows up, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you think it's going to happen and then nothing happens. I've had that. I've worn a pad before for a whole day thinking something was going to happen. Nothing happened. And then the next day it happened and you're like, wow, thanks. 3 to 7 days. 3 is like the least kind of day that you can have. 7 is the longest. Yes, 7 days. Sounds fun, right? It's not fun. So all in all, out of the 4 weeks that we get 1 week of reprieve where we can kind of breathe and be ourselves and be the charming woman that we are. The rest of the 3 weeks, Mother Nature's toying with us and puppeteering everything. When guys think of women having their periods, it's not just a 1 week kind of thing. No, it's like a whole month shindig, right? You get a whole month. And this is what I think guys don't understand. And this is what we need you to understand. Please don't assume that I'm in a bad mood because I'm having my period. Do you ever think that maybe you were just pissing us off? No? There's that as well, you know. Do you think you guys are charming all the time? Listen, I'm not bashing on men. I'm just explaining that this is what happens. Now, I want to talk about our emotions because our emotions play one of the biggest roles in this whole like process of our womanhood, right? It vexes men the most. Men are like constantly confused as to like how 1 minute we can be like a beautiful sunny day, we're all so happy and chuffed, and the next minute we're like Hurricane 1000 just because you sneezed wrong. Men, you want to know why. Basically, it's a mystery to us as well. We cannot tell you, I cannot tell you why I will get upset over something. I cannot explain it. When my emotions are heightened and my hormones are going through all kinds of things, I don't know what my brain is doing. It's doing it by itself. I told you, we're in autopilot mode over here. I can tell you that it's just as frustrating for us as what it is for you, if not more, because we will have at least 2 days where we know things are going to go bad. We know. And that's like just the minimum. It could sometimes happen like the whole time. But for me, for example, I have my crying day and my angry day. Okay, I have 2 days. My crying day is when I wake up and I know that today I'm going to cry. Sometimes that can last up to 2 days. If I don't cry the one day, I'm definitely going to cry the next. But I will and have to cry. I will cry about anything. Just last month, I cried because people are beautiful. Can I explain that to you? Not a chance. I have no way to explain to you why I was crying about beautiful people. I just was. I was going through Instagram, I was going through some TikToks, I was going through my Pinterest board, and I was seeing all these beautiful people, and I started to bawl my eyes out. I was like, why are people so beautiful? Like, I don't understand this. Like, you're so beautiful. And then I had a little self-pity moment. It was like, beautiful people would never go for me. Like, these beautiful people, they would never me. But they're so beautiful, and I'm not even jealous of them. I just thought that they were beautiful. But then there will also be the moments where I will rage. I'm a horrible person. During this day, I am a horrible person. I know that. And whoever will love me during that horrible time will get married forever. I will fight with you for anything. I will think of something that happened like 10 years ago and I will bring it up in our conversation today. And I will be like, yeah, and 10 years ago, like that one time that happened 10 years ago, that one time that you did this, yeah, example of how you let me down and how everybody will always let me. I will rage, guys. It will become, and then the person that I'm attacking is like, what are you talking, like that happened 10 years ago. What? It's lovely, hey? It's great thinking. I can't explain it to you. We wake up and we know that that's just going to be that kind of day. So when you come to us and you're like, oh, you're acting like such a bitch. Are you on your period? Yes, bitch, I am. Don't start with me. I'll bite your head off like a praying mantis. What? Just saying. We break out. Our skin becomes a landfill of pimples. Okay? I get at least 2 very bad pimples. One before, one during. They'll last for the 4 weeks. And then just when it starts to go away, another 2 appear. And it's like, hi, we had to replace the other ones that were just on your face for like the last 4 weeks. And you're like, gee, thanks. I definitely needed you. Women, we get very, very hungry during our periods. I will admit, like or even before, I'm convinced that we then do have a black hole in our stomachs because we literally, the amount of food I could eat, like especially before my period, it's a lot. And then you know that thing where doctors or dietitians or health nutritionists, they say, oh, you should wait about 20 minutes because your brain takes about 20 minutes to tell your stomach that it's full. No. After 20 minutes, my brain will be like, you're still hungry. And then you're thinking, but I just had a whole like tray of lasagna. I'm still hungry. What do you want me to eat, brain? Like, what am I gonna eat? I don't know, maybe some pizza. Really? Or some chocolate. That tub of ice cream in the freezer looks really good. Go get it. And then you go get the tub of ice cream and you finish the tub of ice cream. And then you feel like a little piggy, but I mean, give your body what it wants. No, I'm kidding. But that's basically like what happens, you know, I'm hungry all the time. Nutritionists are then also saying like you should eat chocolate, but not milk chocolate, dark chocolate, or 65% cocoa chocolate because it has magnesium, which helps with cramps. And then it also helps with endorphins and releases all the happy moods so that we can be happier. But I just feel like, you know what? We are going through this, right? Our bodies are releasing things. Our bodies are going through things. There's pain, there's emotion, there's everything. You want to eat, just eat it. Do not even think about it. Just be like, I'm hungry, I want to eat that, and that's it. You also get the most creative combinations of foods. I cannot tell you how many times I've created foods, and other times I would think that is the most disgusting combination of food to eat. But yet, during the actual period, it is so delicious. I've put ice cream on pizza before. And not just like a dessert pizza kind of ice cream moment. It's like, it was a pepperoni pizza and I put like vanilla ice cream on there. I was like, yeah, eat it. Because I was eating both of the foods at the same time. And then I was like, what if I put the one on top of the other? And then I did. It was great. I haven't tried it since though.